A pleasant day to all of us, especially to our beautiful instructor in this subject, Ma'am Raisa Dirangkal. We are the first reporter of this subject. We are under a module 2. By the way, before we start our reports, let us introduce first our names. I am Saidin P. Taop, together with Aisa L. Macapegues. Introduction. This module will discuss the function of speech, nature of language, the symbol system of verbal communication that will help the student understand the different function of speech. Our objectives. At the end of this module, students are expected to A. Discuss the function of communication, B. Present the functional and dysfunctional result of communication, and C. Discuss the important language of communication. Discussion. Speech communication plays a variety of functions in individual's life and society as a whole. These functions are based on the system theory, whose foundation is the premise that a word has definite structure in which action and operation interact with one another in order to form a whole. What happens to one part of system affects the other's part. Okay, so speech communication. So another meaning of speech communication, it is a study of how people create and share meaning through the use of verbal and non-verbal symbols. So why speech communication could place a variety of functions? Because it will have a two. We have individual's life and society as a whole. Okay, so let me explain to you what is individual lives and society as a whole. Individual lives, for example, of individual lives is me and my friend are talking to each other. So it is a individual life. So when it comes to society as a whole, for example, I am a reporting right now. So I have a lot of listener, I have a lot of receiver. These functions are based on the system theory. Okay, in speech communication, it is very important to us because, especially when it comes to system theory. When we say system theory, it is included the sender, the receiver, the message, the channel, and the feedback. It will also help to you when you are trying to speak at the front of your audience or at the front of your listener, which is the sender. The sender also is the person who is trying to communicate a message, and also we have receiver. It is the recipient of the message and determine how to respond to the sender. Also, we have a feedback. Another name of feedback is a response, and also we have channel and message. So, what happens to one part of system affect the other parts? It is very important because it will also parang napakalaking impact na kapag nagkamali ka sa system theory mo is maaaring hindi magiging successful yung mga sinabi mo. Hence, since communication events serve multiple functions in large and small systems, from individual life to the life of society, a message that is consciously created with an intended function simultaneously produce a unintended function. Okay, let me explain what is intended function. When we say intended function, is a kind of speech that all system theory and all listener must understand and clarify what I'm saying or what was the saying of the speaker. And then a message that is consciously created with an intended function simultaneously produce an unintended function. May mga tao kasi na kapag nagsasalita sila is yung kanilang receiver is hindi gaano nila nalilinaw. So it is a simultaneously unintended function. Okay, so next is the intended message is normally functional because it is designed to help maintain order in society, the larger system. However, the intended message can possibly dysfunctional since it may work to maintain order in individual. are part of smaller system. For instance, the Department of Social Welfare Development or DSWD through the Filipino Information Agency or PIA makes a televised broadcast of incident of incest to warn children and their parents. The intended message is normally functional. Okay, so when we say intended message, it is a kind of speech that all system theory and all listener must understand and clarify their saying. No fear happen. Okay. For example, of the intended message is normally functional. All system theory must be okay, and then for the intended message can possibly be dysfunctional. Okay, so kapag yung speech mo is nagkamali ka, so ang tawag doon is dysfunctional because hindi mo nagawa yung mga system theory na yun. The intended message of the broadcast in children's homes is functionally, but if it triggers a crime of incest in any viewer's home, then the broadcast provides an unintended message that is dysfunctional. So it is clarified naman po siya. It is nagkakaroon ng kamalian kung may triggers sa isang crime o incest in any viewers of home. That's all. Thank you.
I am Amira Angkay, the second reporter of Module 2. Definition of language. Language is a very important. Without it, we will not able to think and talk silently to ourselves. To communicate our thinking to a listener, we need to select words that are clear and appropriate not only to us but also to our listener. Language is a system of communication which is consists of a set of sound and writing symbols which are used by the people or of a particular country or religion for a talking or writing. Language is a system of sounds and symbols used to communicate ideas, aids, feelings. Future of language. Language is a system. Language is a vehicle by which the individual is able to receive message from inside himself or outside other. The individual processes the information inside himself and responds by sending message through language outside. Ang wika ay isang way o daan kung saan ang individual ay nakakatanggap ng mensahe mula sa loob, kanyang sarili, labas at iba pa. Pinoproseso ng individual ang impormasyon sa loob ng kanyang sarili at tumugon sa pamamagitan ng pagpapadala ng mensahe sa pagitan ng wika sa labas. Language is symbolic. Language is collection of symbol which is process certain properties. Adler and Rudman's 51. It contains elements which consist of letter of the alphabet along with punctuation marks such as comma, period, and so on. In mathematics, elements are integer 0 to 9 plus other symbols like plus, minus, multiplication, and division sign. The elements by themselves have no meaning. In order to have meaning, they have to be arranged in their proper sequence. Ang wika ay isang koleksyon ng mga simbolo na nagtataglay ng ilang mga katangian. Naglalaman ito ng mga elemento na binubuo ng mga titik ng alpabeto kasama na ang mga bantas tulad ng kuwet, toldok at iba pa. Language is conventional. Language is the means accessed by a large number of the people. It is one of the important means by which a ground of culture identities itself. Ang wika ay paraan na tinatanggap ng malaking bilang ng mga ito. Ito ay isa sa mga mahalagang paraan kung saan ang isang lupa o kultura ay nakikilala sa sarili nito. Language is learned. Each culture creates own language to modify the general language to meet its own need. Ang bawat kultura ay lumilikha ng sariling wika upang baguhin ang pangkalahatang matugunan ang sarili nitong pangangailangan. Language change. Language is one of the way by which group expression, new word, and distinct language pattern are formed from language. Ang wika ay isa sa mga paraan kung saan nabuo ang mga ekspresyon ng grupo, mga bagong salita at natatanging pattern ng wika mula sa wika. According to my research, language helps express our feelings, desire, and inquiries to the world around us. Understand the language of your community makes users feel like they're on the inside. Everyone likes to feel important on in the know. That's all. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I am Aiza El Macapegues. I am the last reporter for this Module 2. So let us know the relationship of speech, language, and communication. But before that, I am going to define itself. So communication is the broad term for the two-way dynamic process of message transmission, which are speaker and the listener, or the sender and the receiver. Like what I'm doing today, I am reporting and you are listening. So this is the example of communication. It embraces both the verbal and the non-verbal aspects. The verbal includes the modes which are reading, writing, speaking, and listening, while the non-verbal comprises the extra-linguistic elements which deals without words, such as paralinguistic, metalinguistic, and non-linguistic. These elements enhance the meaning of what words say or symbols. Moreover, speech and language are only a portion of the larger process of communication. Meaning to say, speech and language are important for us to express our thoughts. Language is the medium or vehicle through which messages are sent and received. Meaning to say, language is considered a prime tool of communication. While speech is one of its modes, it is the verbal means of communicating or conveying meaning. More specifically, speech is the process of shaping into words the sound of the voice and the energy uttered breath by means of the speech organs, meaning to say, speech is the productions of sounds which combine to form words. In general, good speech, language, and communication skills have a positive impact on confidence and self-esteem. Like for instance, I'm reporting today and I have PowerPoint, so the words written on the PowerPoint and the explanations comes from to my mind is the language and the way I deliver my report called speech because it produces sounds, and the way I speak here and you are listening called communication. So let us move to language focus. Let us learn the words and phrases we use to express opinion by using politely agree or disagree. When someone say, that looks great or hot, and when you are agree to her or his opinion, you reply, you're right about that. And when you are disagree, you reply, come on, give me a break. When someone say, looks good to me, and when you are agree to her or his opinion, you reply, to me too. And when you are disagree, you reply, not to me. And when someone say, I think that looks pretty, and when you are agree to her or his opinion, you reply, I do too. And when you are disagree, you reply, I don't think so. When someone say, it's okay, and when you are agree to her or his opinion, you reply, me too. And when you are disagree, you reply, I don't think so. Someone say, looks strange to me, and when you are agree to her or his opinion, you reply, definitely. And when you are disagree, you reply, you've got to be kidding. In that, expressing an opinions by saying politely agree and disagree has a good impact to the listener. So this would be the end of our report for the Module 2. Thanks for listening and have a good day.